Like Ali said, my name is Heather. I'm a growth product manager here at Postmates. Being a growth PM is a little bit different than being a PM on a core product team. So I want to talk to you guys today about what I've learned from working on a growth team, what that discipline looks like at a high level, and then how I've been able to turn that into a mindset, not that it's my invention, but how I've applied it to my personal life, and hopefully that's helpful to you. So let's get oriented. Growth, like I said, is a discipline. It's kind of massive. When you're trying to grow a business, you have a lot of tools in your toolkit that will help you do so. You have things like App Store optimization, brand partnerships, email marketing, social media, just to name a few. And all of these things, to add on a layer of complexity, can be used as switches, like they're off and you turn them on, very simple. That's usually when you don't have a lot of resources or your company's at an earlier stage. But you can also use all these tools as dials that can be very finely tuned and can take a lot of time and can be very intricate to work with. So how do you actually become an expert in all of these things? Whether they're switches, whether they're dials, these millions of tools in your growth toolkit. The answer is you can't, predictably. So the point is to not get overwhelmed, right? Oops. There we go. You can pare down this whole discipline of growth into this one neat little cycle of 4 stages. Research, experiment, learn, and iterate. It's a little bit different from the core product cycle of build, measure, learn, which a lot of you have probably heard. The research phase here, when you're trying to grow a business, is about looking at context, like where do you stand now from a quantitative standpoint and a qualitative standpoint. This includes looking at your conversion funnel, where are your customers dropping off, where are they converting, and comparing that with how your users are actually interacting with the app on a human level. So you can do things like user interviews and usability testing. In an ideal world, your quantitative and qualitative data will align and be able to present an area of opportunity for you. One example of this is, let's say, we'll use Postmates as an example, and your customers are going through this whole session, they're opening the app, they're looking at a merchant, they're adding things to their cart, and they get to checkout, and people are disproportionately just abandoning session. Why is that happening? So this leads you to the experiment phase. Now that you've identified an area that you want to improve, you can set up different tests to explore what tweak can I make here or there that will actually move this metric that I care about. So let's say I want to add that take a picture of your credit card feature, right? That should simplify things. Let's say we're just trying to knock out some work that people do, and my hypothesis is that if I make it easier and faster to check out, more people will do so. I set up a test, run it for a while. Some people are in a control, some people are in a test. In the learning phase, I'm going to go in and compare my results of that experiment with my hypothesis. Did things go as I expected? Were they totally unexpected and from left field? Or were my results inconclusive? In the latter case, maybe I need to run the experiment again instead of continuing. But let's say we learned something and that this test that I ran, my changing that credit card feature improved conversion by 0.5%. That kind of sounds like nothing, but in the growth world, that can be huge. So what we're going to do now is we have the power to go and change our product if we want to. Sometimes in growth, sometimes we're more of like a consulting team to a core product team, and we aren't actually changing the product that much ourselves. Sometimes the things we experiment on are what paid advertising channels are the most cost efficient. What are the best times to send emails? All of this stuff, we're putting through this growth cycle and learning about how to optimize all of these metrics exactly the way we want to. So what does this mean for us as human beings outside the workplace? It means that you now have a framework for going through life and solving your own problems. It means that if you're looking at the research phase on a personal level, you are someone who likes to ask questions. You're concerned with what's going on around you and why. You like to know what's going on. Like with the election yesterday, we didn't have our heads buried in the sand, right? We're following along. And then in the experiment phase, this means that you are open to trying new things and taking risks. That's cliche at this point, but it rings true for a reason. Right now, I'm up here running an experiment and talking to you guys, and my learning phase will look like going through the reel that we have here and finding out if I spoke decently. There you go, fourth wall. So after the learning phase, then you go to iterate. Once I've figured out what I could do better, I'm going to practice and try it again. I'm not assuming this is perfect, but you have to go through these motions in order to grow and learn, and you can ultimately do this in perpetuity. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. I don't want to go over time. If I had more time, I would talk more. But I'll be here for Q&A, and I'm happy to exchange LinkedIns or Twitters with anybody after this. So for now, I'd love to introduce my colleague, Sam Phillips.